Anybody else want to share?
I'll share.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So, if I could meet any celebrity, I'd probably pick Will Smith, just because I love The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like a lot. So yeah.
That's a great show. Good answer. Did you see him as Genie in the Aladdin movie?
Yeah, I did. That's kind of the only reason I watched it.
Yeah, I have to see that. I just got Disney Plus. Let's see. T, do you want to share what your response would be? You there, T? Okay, no worries. All right. Well, any last minute answers before we move
I want
on?
to add something.
Sure, go right ahead.
So for me, I would like to meet, well, two people, right? I don't know if it was only, I know it was only one, but I got two people. The first one was Darman. He is, I'm not sure if anybody heard of him, but I like his videos. He talks about, like he has some, he always gets like quotes and like this morning he said, I subscribe to his YouTube videos and Instagram. He's like an influencer. And then of course I want to meet Jackie Chan. But that's it.
Is he
Nice.
still alive? Still around, Jackie Chan?
I think so.
Okay, yes, Jackie
I
Chan.
believe he's still alive.
Okay, sorry about that.
67.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm going through the chat right now. Anusha would like to meet Tina Turner. Yes, I love Tina Turner. Anyone know the song? Simply the Best. I love that song. Nia would pick Ben D. Almeida. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly because he is her favorite TikToker. Ooh. You want to say any more about that, Nia?
Almeida, right?
Almeida. That's probably it.
I just like his username is Ben of the Week, and I just like him because he makes funny TikToks.
Oh, cool. I never got TikTok, but I hear a lot about it.
So many people are sharing TikTok videos. Maybe it's just integrated in everything.
I know. All right, cool. Well, thank you all so much for sharing. If you have any other ideas trickle in, feel free to shoot them in the chat. For now, we will move on to our meeting agenda. So, of course, we'll start by going over the agenda itself, the goals, best practices, and we're going to do sisterhood activity. Today's sisterhood activity is going to be 2 truths, 1 lie, just a nice casual one so we can get to know each other a little bit more. And then we're going to go back a little bit as far as website planning goes and get back to the basics. We're going to do a quick tutorial on how to start planning a website by going over the functions that you want to create. And then we're going to go over how you're going to visually plan it out with a wireframe. And we're going to have a chance to get together with our groups and start implementing both of those things. And finally, we'll have our weekly stand-up. And if we have any time, of course, we'll devote that to questions. And our learning goals for this week are to learn how to begin planning a website's functionality, to have a refresher on creating wireframes, and to plan out your website's functionality and begin collaborating on your wireframes in your groups.
Sounds like a fun.
Yes, lots of group time today. I'm very excited about this. So our best practices, as always, which you're all great with, is muting your microphone when you're not speaking, changing your name to include your pronouns. We've been forgetting this a little bit lately, but try to remember so we can make sure we're all respecting one another. Use the raise hand feature, the chat, unmuting, anything you need to get my attention, to ask questions throughout the duration of the lesson. And try to keep your cameras on if you can. It definitely helps to make this feel more like a real classroom. And as always, using respectful language, which you all do because you're all very mature people. So we will move on to our sisterhood activity of the day, which is 2 truths, 1 lie. We're going to do this in breakout groups so we actually have a little more time to talk. So take a moment and think about 2 facts about yourself that are true and pick something that sounds like it could be true, but it's made up. And in a moment, we're going to break out into groups and take turns sharing the 2 truths and a lie. And try to stump your peers. Come up with something that seems like it might be true, or maybe a fact about yourself that is true that seems like it could be made up. And we're going to return to class and share about how it went, if we were able to stump people, if we got stumped, or if we guessed correctly. So I'm going to give about 2 minutes just so you have a chance to prepare. In the meantime, Yulia, if you wouldn't mind preparing the groups, they could just be random,
Sure.
3 to 4.
Sure. How many people do we want in one room?
Between 3 and 4, I think.
Okay.
And we're going to stay in these rooms for, let's say, like 6 minutes. I'll set it.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you all in there.
See you soon. It looks like we are back on our main session. Just wondering, everyone joined back? Yeah, seems so.
Okay, great. All right, so let's reflect on that a little bit. I'm sure everyone had as much fun as I did. So please go ahead and raise your hand and answer, or type in the chat. Were you or any of your other group members able to stump anyone else? Were you able to guess anyone's truths and lie correctly or incorrectly? Did you learn anything surprising or interesting about any of your peers? And what did you find the most fun about this activity or the most challenging? So I see Genesis has your hand up. Go right ahead.
And I tried to say the truths and the lies that I gave.
Sure.
Okay. So I have 2 older sisters. My favorite color is blue, and I love pizza.
Well, you're wearing blue, so that's maybe it is your favorite color. Does anyone want to guess?
She doesn't like pizza. She hates pizza.
If Anisha wants to go, she can also answer.
It was blue, pizza, and what was the third one?
I have 2 older sisters.
Okay, so I think that you do not have 2 older sisters because I know for sure you have an older brother.
Anisha got it right.
She knew.
That's a good one. I would have been so shocked if it was that you didn't like pizza.
Okay, what was your observation actually about others? Did you learn something new about others?
Yes, I did. I learned that Alicia lived in LA, and then she came here 2 years ago.
That's so cool.
Yay.
Are there some folks who are still in a breakout group?
No, none. Everyone is back.
Okay.
So for example, in our breakout room, we had Layla, Nia, and Kayla. And actually, we didn't figure out the lie about any of those. They all won. I don't know how come, but it is what it is. They surprised us. They surprised each other, I guess. Layla, would you mind to share your experience with this breakout room?
Well, in my breakout room, like, I think all of them got them wrong and thought when I said that I had a twin sister, it was a lie. but I do have a twin sister. We're not identical or anything, but I do have one.
And she's here. Am I right?
Yeah, she's here.
Hey, Miriam. We know you. Would you like to share your experience with Breakout Room? She's so quiet.
T was in my breakout group, and she actually knew because her and Miriam have been friends for so long. She couldn't guess at Miriam's because she knew which one was the lie right off the bat.
Was Alicia in your breakout room too?
No, it was T, Miriam, Anaya, and I.
Okay. Alicia, what about your breakout room? Who did you get into?
In my breakout room,
Mm-hmm.
Genesis was pretty hard to guess because she gave some like options that would be good lies and good truths. We all guessed hers wrong though.
Only her, right? How about others? Who was in your room?
We had Cindy, Genesis, me, and Mia. Sorry.
Mia. Okay. So I don't see Nia. No, Nia was in my room. Okay, all set. Thank you. This was fun. So you're full of surprises, right? It's good to learn a little bit about each other.
Definitely. All right. So I'm glad that we had a little time to have fun. And now we're going to have even more fun because we're going to learn a little bit more about website planning.
Yes,
So,
please.
The first step in creating a outline of your website is typically to solidify the concept of your website. So each of you already has a concept. And as a reminder, I've included them here. T, Miriam, and Layla came up with the idea to suggest restaurants to users. Genesis, Nia, Mia, and Janice want to create a website to help users collaborate to donate food and clothing. And Alicia, Kaylee, Anaya, and Kayla are creating a website to help users find coupons and deals. So these are the concepts we have now. However, we are going to have time in our groups today. If for some reason you don't like your concept anymore, or you have a new and better idea, you're welcome to change it. I just wanted to remind you of what they are. So the first step is already done, which is pretty nice. So to solidify the concept, and that's where you would change it if that's something you opt to do. And the next step is to brainstorm useful website features. What a feature is it's a part of your website. It's a part that has a specific function. So a feature might be something like a search feature. If you're trying to brainstorm or you're using a website that suggests to you restaurants, a feature you might want to include would be a feature where the person can enter their zip code so you can find restaurants in their area. Or you could use that same feature for a website like the donation one, and they can recommend different donation centers. And so each feature should connect directly with the main concept, and you'll use that to kind of inform what the website needs to do in order to accomplish that goal. So if the goal is, what was the last website? If the goal is to recommend coupons, well, what information are you going to need to gather? What kind of stores is this person looking to gather coupons from? Should there be a search to see if coupons are available for a particular store, or maybe a menu to categorize clothing stores, food stores, restaurants even, and things like that. So this is where you kind of need a businessy mentality to think about your product. What is going to help your users achieve the goal that you've set out with your concept? So keeping this in mind, we're going to be organizing our features into website pages. Now, website pages, as you'll remember, are different HTML pages that you navigate to via the navigation bar. So with the functionalities in mind, we'll want to create different pages. So maybe one of your functions you'll want to do is showcasing work through photographs. That would go well on a portfolio page. Or maybe one of the functions you want to have is a bulleted list that can be checked off for action items. Like maybe for the donation website, it could be something like gather items, put them in a basket, drive them to the donation center and drop them off. And those can all be checkoffs on a take action page. And another great page idea is a more info page. If a useful function might be to just explain your mission more, why you're doing it, what has led you to decide to create this. We're going to try to aim for 3 pages. That would be wonderful. But everyone will need at least 2. That way you can practice the navigation bar function. Your first page will be your index page, and each other, and the index page usually kind of outlines what is your website, what does it do, and gives a little bit of background. The other pages are more specifically targeted at other things, like we mentioned with the Take Action portfolio, and more information. And so the first page, the index page, is already decided for you, but everything beyond that is completely up to you and your group, and it will depend on the kind of website you are building. So I know those are kind of big conceptual things, but I want to hear your questions and thoughts based on what I've just shared. Does anybody, does anybody based on what I said have any connections to their concept, maybe a feature that would be useful for their website?
Maybe it's worth to show features example.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Let's navigate the web. So I'm going to use my magazine's website because I always use my magazine's website. So our website, this is a navigation bar we've looked at a million times, and each of them takes you to a page which does specific things. So this first page is the home page, or the index page. And this just sort of outlines some highlights. It has a calendar on it. It has subscription and the most recent issue and things like that. But if you go through the other tabs, if you click about, you'll receive more information about the website. Oh my gosh, that's me. You'll receive more information about the website, the people who are involved, what's important about the magazine. If you click on issues, the function of this feature is to allow the user to go through all the issues that have been published. And so they can click on any of these and read them. And then each of these pages show you different articles from the different categories we feature in the magazine, which are adventure and culture, fashion and beauty, food, health and wellness, and literature and art, as well as horoscopes. So that would be that. These are all their own pages, which contain their own features. And lastly, we have a contact page, which is always a good idea if you're trying to accomplish some sort of a business goal. If you want people to make inquiries with you, from you, you should create a contact page. I'm not saying for purposes of this website, we will not be doing that to protect our privacy, but in a business context, that is a good idea to have. And we also have links up in the corner, which are embedded in these icons. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea about the various pages you'll have in a website and how each of them can do something different that helps to accomplish your overall goal. The key ones I want you to pay attention to here are the about and the home page. I think the about page will probably be a great idea for many of you. You can choose to kind of make it about your experience with Girls Who Code, things that you've learned along the way, about yourself and your magazine, or your magazine, sorry, I'm reading the word, yourself and your background, etc. But I hope that illustrates what the different pages you'll be outlining should do. So in an outline, I would decide I'm going to create an about page, an issues page, this page, that page, etc. But you'll need to know all of that before you start coding. So based on this, do we have any questions?
What would you suggest to use to brainstorm features for your website? How did you brainstorm with your group?
It's a good question. I think using a Google slide deck would be a wonderful idea. That way you can share it between all of you. And we're going to be using the Google slide deck to create our wireframes, which is our visual planning. So to have both of those things in the same location would help a lot. Each of your groups should already have a Google slide shared among you. I believe we did that before. But if not, please do take today to create one. Only one person needs to create it and just share it with everybody else. And then you can just open up a little text tab and start writing out different ideas. It could just be brainstorming. It doesn't have to be any fully formed thought. But I did want to create some time for us to get together now and start brainstorming our website functionality. So as a group, we are going to be clarifying with one another the following. What is the concept of your website? Do you want to change it from the concept you had before? If not, just make sure you're all on the same page about what that concept is. What are the key functions you would like your website to do? And how do you think you might break those functions up into pages? Do you think you like to have an information page, take action page, portfolio page? So yes, okay. So before we break up into groups, do we have questions about what we are doing once we get in these groups?
I will repeat. Group number 1 will have T, Layla, Miriam. You still want to be together with Miriam and Layla?
Yeah.
So 2 twins want to be Layla, Miriam, T. Okay.
Yeah.
So group 2, Genesis, Mia, Nia. And I don't see Nia anymore. Okay. Nia, I'm missing Nia.
I'm here.
He is here.
Sure. Yes, I see her now. Again, T, Miriam, Leila. T, Miriam, Leila. Kayla goes to group 3. Anaya goes group 3. Alicia goes to group 3. Okay. Genesis, Mia, Nia. Yay. I think we're done. Are you ready to join breakout rooms? Brainstorming your features? I'm just wondering how you can share the features, website features. Would you share it or you would allow them to brainstorm it first? Taylor, what do you think?
What do you mean?
How about website features? You want them to follow your list or you want them just to discuss what it is and how many minutes?
Oh, I would love if everyone could try to follow along with the activities of defining the concept, deciding on the functions, and how the functions would break up into pages so we can begin
Can you
outlining.
copy paste this into the chat, please?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. And saying that, I'm opening breakout rooms. And how many minutes? When do we meet again?
We are going to, sorry, let me go back to the meeting agenda. So let's take, we are a little bit behind on schedule, but that's okay. Let's take 10 minutes.
Yes, boss. I'm opening rooms now. Please join with your team. Jump on it. Okay, welcome back. How was your experience so far? Taylor, you're muted.
I'm sorry, I was talking this whole time. So in my group, we had Mia, Nia, and Anaya, and we were talking about the concepts of the website. They actually opted to change it. So instead of a website that I believe it was a website for donations and things like that, they want to make a website for girls and women to create sisterhood together, empower each other, and talk about the issues that girls and women face. So that was what our group is doing, and we were just in the process of typing everything out on the slide.
Good. So I discovered my group is just learning 2 major things. Thing number 1 is how to log in with Google Slides or any Google document using their own account. Because when you log in with different accounts, it will be not saved. It's not the right thing to do to log in with your mom's account. And I guess we do need another class just to learn Google Suite. So some students are still learning, and I'm wondering why, because school districts are usually using Google Suite. How to insert text, how to insert image. This is something to...
If you want, I can show that right now, if you would like.
I think it has to be a different session.
Okay.
Or we can stay over, Genesis, and you can show it starting 5:35. Is it okay?
Yeah, I'm going to try to. I'm probably going, can I use the slide that my like group is using?
Sure.
Okay.
But we will do it at 5:35. Not right now. Okay.
Okay.
So we had 3 groups. Taylor, you shared about your group.
Yes, sorry, I have to correct. I said Anaya, but I meant Genesis before. It's Mia, Nia, and Genesis. So pardon me for that. So someone who is not in my group or Yulia's group, would anyone like to share your experiences? We don't know what you did.
T, Miriam, Layla, how was your experience?
It was really good.
You want to
I-
show us?
Glitch worked for me. Like it would stop working a lot, and we added a lot of stuff. So
Can you show us? Taylor, do you mind to have
No, I'd love to see.
stop sharing then? Let them share.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you want me to share it?
Yes, please. We are so curious.
Okay.
Kayla, it's your chance to learn how they did it. Okay, go ahead, Layla.
I don't really use Zoom a lot, so how do you share your screen with it?
Share.
Let
Screen.
T share because she has like the original copy.
Okay.
Share it. Okay, I'll share. Which one is it? Okay. We worked on this a lot, and we managed to get Miriam and Layla in because last time it wasn't really working or cooperating with them, and they were having a bit of trouble. We got in, and we added. Originally we only had like little links to 2, but we've now got 1, and we had we had a problem because every time we clicked I think it was the home or the quiz, it like no, it was the quiz one. It came up as not found, but I think I fixed it because I changed the name of that one. Like quiz used to be home, but now it's quiz, and the different one's home. So I went back just now and fixed them all, and so I think it's working now.
That's
Hope
cool.
so.
But you were using glitch already. You jumped ahead 1 step more.
Yes.
We were thinking about like just slide deck and seeing what's working, what's not working on the slide deck as a wireframe. So I think, thank you, T. It was really awesome. You just like so fast. How
Yeah.
about Alicia? Would you like to share where we got? Let's communicate this using slide deck. Make sense? Alicia, ready?
Yep, I'm just share my screen.
Yes, please. So this way you are exposed to different approaches, to 2 different approaches. T, Miriam, and Layla, they did it using glitch. And here is slide deck we were using with Alicia, Kayla, and Anaya.
So this is our first page.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is our second page. So the search bar is going to be right here. And like, we're going to have like a giant thing here where it's going to have like the best coupon deals. And then right here is going to be where you can find your specific store, like different, like if you want a restaurant or a clothing store, you would find them here. And that's all we really have so far.
Thank you for sharing. You guys, that's a wireframe.
That's the one.
Beautiful job. We're going to do that for our next step, but we'll do that next class. But that's awesome.
You see how 2 approaches are different, but both are really good. You can use glitch, you can use slide deck.
Definitely. All right, fantastic work, everybody. So, let me go back to sharing. I'll just outline what we're going to do for next class because we ended up running a little late today doing really important stuff. So that is totally okay. Next class, we're going to go through Google Suite. Since Yulia mentioned some of you were having a little difficulty, Google Suite's extremely important, and we'll go over all that so we're all on the same page. If anyone doesn't have Gmail, I highly recommend getting your own Gmail before next class. Otherwise, you won't be able to use Google Suite. So you'll need your own Google account through Gmail. So we'll go through Google Suite next class, and then we'll complete the website functionality activity if we haven't, and we'll move on to creating a wireframe. Now, what Alicia actually showed us was a wireframe. Basically, it's just an outline of the structure of your website. Where's everything going to go? The images, the text, the navigation bar. How's it going to be shaped on the page? And here is just an image showing a bunch of different types of wireframes for setups you can have. So I recommend looking at different websites, getting inspired. What do you think looks good? What makes sense for what your website's trying to do? So we will create the wireframes on the same Google slide where we were brainstorming. That way everything's together, everyone has access to it, and you can quickly refer from where you're brainstorming to where you're creating the wireframe. And yeah, that's it. So we can move on to our weekly stand-up. I would love to hear from a few people who haven't spoken in a little bit. What do you feel that you've accomplished this meeting? How were you or someone or others brave, resilient, creative, or purposeful? Do you need help with anything? And if you'd like to shout out someone else for something they've accomplished, for helping you or others, or demonstrating a trait from the GWC learner's profile, which you see here, then please do speak up. You can just go ahead and unmute yourself freely or type in the chat.
Yeah, we have 5 minutes left. We do want to hear from you. If you learned something today, if you were bold enough, just speaking up, or if you were resilient enough, just asking questions, or if you were just thinking creative, or you want to brag about someone else, we're learning to brag. If you feel something good about yourself, go ahead and brag.
I think I did well with speaking today, because usually I don't really talk, but today I did.
Yes, Layla.
We loved hearing from you.
Yes.
Thank
so
you.
much. This is awesome. Layla, you're a really good team lead, actually. I shall say it. Uh, and we learned Layla and Miriam are twins. So if Layla will be succeeding, then Miriam will follow. Or vice versa. Right? Miriam, can we hear from you? Yeah? Yeah? I want to hear your beautiful voice. Miriam.
So one thing I think that we accomplished this meeting was creativity, because we were being creative when we were building our own website.
So true. Thank you, Miriam.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're brave. You two are brave. I can confirm. That's great. Okay, can we hear from the group with Alicia, Kayla, and Anaya? Anaya, would you like to tell something? Even if you struggle.
Well, I was struggling with how to type on the document, and it wouldn't really let me do anything.
Bad Google Suite. I hate Google Suite. It's not letting me. Maybe it's about the key, the access using your Google account. There is something there to discover. There is something to be triggered. right? Let's hack this problem. Let's figure out why. So you're welcome to stay over, and Genesis will help you to do things. Okay? But as Taylor said, it's really important to have your own key unlocking G Suite. And your key is Gmail, your own Gmail, not iCloud. No, sorry. Not your mom's account. No, didn't work.
Mhm. And hopefully after next week, we should all be on the same page about that when we go over Google Suite in depth.
And the last group, Nia or Mia, would you like to share anything?
Is Nehemiah and Genesis.
I
Okay.
liked, can I like say something that I liked about the group? I like that we mostly got to like come up with another idea. It was kind of like the same one as we had before, but it was a bit different, and like we were finding something that like all women could do in like a type of good type of project.
Woohoo!
Genesis did an awesome job coming up with a new angle, a new idea, which we absolutely loved, and everyone brainstormed. And Mia was kind enough to share her screen while we were working, and Nia was working on phrasing the concept and doing a beautiful job with her writing. So,
wow!
I have major shout outs to everybody in that group. They all did awesome.
And Kayla is sharing right now. She wants to thank Alicia for helping. Kayla, thank you for sharing it. You were brave to say thank you to your teammate. And Alicia, you are really awesome. You're technology savvy, tech savvy. Please keep helping each others. Help Anaya and help Kayla because you are working together. Please communicate on Discord or in either way you can. Keep working. Just think about it, dream about it, what the website could look like. Even if you cannot do it with G Suite, it's okay. Just communicate it. Free of you. And I promise you can exchange your phone numbers on Discord or right now in the chat. Please stay connected. Work together.
Sorry, this is old homework I have up here. Let's change that right now. So before next week, I'm gonna delete that. Before next meeting, we are going to, let's move this over. Make sure you have a Gmail. So that's gonna be the number one.
Sure.
And to keep thinking about ideas to develop your website functions, how you want to lay things out, and look at other websites to see how visually you might want your website to look.
For those of you who want to stay a little bit longer, you're welcome to do so. Genesis will be happy to share, if she's available, how to use G Suite. But the secret key is having your own Gmail account to log in, right? And we will be working on the wireframe. What's wireframe is?
Like what you're basically going to talk about, or the start.
Kind of. That's your dream about your website, how it would look like, what pieces it would have. What building blocks? If any text, if any images, if any buttons, right? Cool. So saying that, thank you everyone. I was so happy to see everyone. Please stay a little bit longer if you need some help with G Suite. Either Genesis or me, we will help you to do that with your
Do you
G.
want me to show them like how to do things on the Google side?
Yes, this would
Okay.
be awesome. In one more minute, wait a second.
Okay.
I will have to wrap up the class for today for everyone. But for those who want to stay, you can stay over another 15 minutes. Saying that, everyone, I will see you next Monday, but I'm making myself available next 15 minutes, maybe more, and Genesis will be showing how to use it. And Taylor will open up the universe with wireframing for us next time. Have a wonderful
Thank
week,
you.
everyone.